Today has been a busy day for members of the Organised Labour as they made good their threat in embarking on a nationwide strike in solidarity with the lingering strike embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Major cities across the country witnessed a large turnout of members demanding an end to Asuu strike, insecurity among other things. In Niger, the members occupied the State House of Assembly for the first day, where they claimed that the negligence of the federal government is destroying the destiny of Nigeria's future leaders, as no nation can rise with a neglected educational system.
We have to be fair with Asuu and other affiliate unions of the universities. What they have done a lot for the educational sector. And what they are demanding, it is not for selfish interest. They are demanding better conditions. They are demanding better facilities in the university. There is no university that will function without facilities. You will end up bringing half-baked graduates.
In Kwara State, the demand of the union is almost the same as they joined their counterparts across the country to condemn what they described as government negligence. The protesters called on the federal government to attend to the needs of the university workers and allow the university system run seamlessly.
Almost all of our students in university are at home, and it's a minus to us, to all the parents, not even the Asuu, not even the worker and Asuu university, to all the parents and to we the workers who happen to be their fathers. The next thing is we are going for 3 working strike action, 3 working day action, industrial action. After that, if nothing was done, then we are going to do another NEC meeting to know the next line of action.
Without education, insecurity will prevail all over, and that's what is happening in Nigeria. In Kwasu, we have a peculiar situation, and that is the issue of no subvention. This should point a signal to the state government. The issue of state subvention is no longer acceptable in Kwasu. We cannot live without subvention.
Now let's turn to Delta State, where despite the scorching sun, members of the Organised Labour joined the nationwide call for action by the NLC. They're out on the streets to add their voices to that of Asuu, with the hope of getting federal government to take necessary action for the strike to end. Meanwhile, in Enugu, the Organised Labour and its affiliate unions want the federal government to honour the agreement reached with university unions. The protesters in unison resolved that government should, among all demands, devote substantial funds for education in line with the United Nations Charter.
Despite the fact that Asuu members have been very, very considerate, they negotiated with the federal government. It was a tripartite agreement duly signed. At the point of implementation, the federal government reneged and refused to implement that agreement.
Is it in terms of education? Our own children are at home, groaning. Why the president will proudly go overseas and take pictures with his children graduating in foreign universities?
Fundamentally, the bone of contention is that a government went into an agreement and have consistently and persistently failed to honor the same agreements.
As a government, we share in your concerns. We have always known that education is the foundation of society. But our job, just as we have pointed out, is to continue to engage the federal government to ensure that there is a peaceful and amicable resolution of all the contending issues between federal government and Asuu.
Now, in the southwestern part of Nigeria, members of the Organised Labour, just like their counterparts in other parts of the country, staged a peaceful protest in solidarity with the Academic Staff Union of Universities Industrial Action. From Ogun to Ondo, Oyo to Osun, the demand of the union is the same: end Asuu strike now. TVC News' Rafiu Hamid in Asuu and Sharon Ejason in Lagos report that students who have stayed at home for more than 5 months are now frustrated and are patiently waiting to resume lectures.
In Akure, the Ondo State capital, members of the unions marched through major streets, chanting solidarity songs. Armed with placards with various inscriptions, the Organised Labour frowned at the federal government's inability to meet Asuu's demands. They took the protest to the governor's office, where they were addressed by government officials.
What we want from the federal government is to come back to the negotiation table and sign the agreement that they have.
Federal investment is not an Asuu matter. I want to say it's a Nigerian matter. We are talking of several generations of our children.
In Abeokuta, the protest was led by Emmanuel Bankole and supported by members of the National Association of Nigerian Students. They condemned the rate at which the federal government gives approval for the establishment of more private universities, while public universities are grossly underfunded.
Our affiliates are prepared to shut down this country if after this protest nothing is done.
In Ibadan, the labor unions took their rally to the governor's office at Agodi, where they were received by the deputy governor, Bayo Lawal, and other top government functionaries in the state.
If after now they don't do it and we don't see the seriousness in them, you know what the labor centers can do. They fly around, they do everything. We shut down the airport, we shut down the banks, we shut down the electricity, we shut down water.
These are our children. We do not want them to be out of school for 5-6 months that they have been out of school. It's not helping the economy.
The situation is not different in Osun State. In Oshubu, the Organised Labour marched from Ogoluwa to the State House of Assembly and the government secretariat, Abiri.
We don't want our children to stay at home any longer. We want the strike to end now.
It is not possible for us to join you to protest, but within us, we are with you.
The protesters say the time for Asuu to resume is now. They threatened to embark on a 3-day warning strike if federal government fails to accede to the demands of the striking lecturers after this 2-day protest. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Osogbo.